Hi everyone, this is Sandy Reese with StampinCrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I want to welcome you to our weekly tutorial today. Now if you watched last week, you're going to notice that I'm wearing the same thing, my craft mess looks the same, and there's two reasons for that. So the first and main reason is because I'm actually on vacation this week. So I filmed today's video after my video last week. So I would have something to share with you all this time while I'm vacationing in balmy Key West. So after I had done last week's tutorial, I was trying to think what I wanted to do for this week, and I hadn't planned anything yet. And then I'm like, oh, well, this is one of my favorite shirts. So I'm going to use this as inspiration. So I have two projects using inspiration today. So if you're ever stuck or you can't think of something you want to do, just look at maybe one of your favorite shirts or your t-shirt or, you know, something else. I'm going to show you two different inspirations that I'm going to use. The first one is the shirt. So I'm just going to scan down and show you. It's bright, it's kind of funky. It reminds me of a dress I had in the 80s, which I'm going to post a picture. I found that picture and I'm going to post it because I was young and thin. Back then when I had that dress, and I really loved it. But this reminds me of that. So I wanted to make a card that is super easy to be inspired something and make a card using, you know, your favorite shirt or your favorite pillow, or sometimes I even go on Pinterest and look. I don't look at cards, but I'll look at home decor and look for inspiration in home decor. It might give me color themes or, you know, specific type of layouts or something that I want to, you know, incorporate into a card. So I'm going to flip you upside down and we're going to do a card based on my shirt today first, and then we're going to do another one. I'm excited. I'm excited about these. Okay, let me flip you down. I did put a clean piece of paper here, so you wouldn't have to look at the messy sheet from last week. Okay, are we good? That looks pretty good. All right, so what we've got is some funky 80s, you know, 80s type patterns. So I'm going to start with just a basic white card base. This is thick basic white cardstock. Okay, then we're going to have some black. All right. Then I'm going to bring in my stripes. Now these on my shirt are thin, but I didn't have any thin stripes. So I used the Playing the Pattern Party Host pack of Designer Series paper, because as I said last week, one side's all bright and colorful. This one has the funky hearts, which would even be really good on this card because they're all different colors. But I wanted the stripes to kind of mimic my shirt. So we're going to glue this down, and I still don't have my tape fixed because that was just like a couple of hours ago, and I am on a roll. I'm on a roll today. Okay, now I am going to add, I had a strip of this black glimmer paper, which is coming back next month in just like a week with the new holiday catalog. So it will be in there, and I love and hoard everything glimmer. And my shirt does not have any bling on it, but my card needs some bling, just to add that fun little pop. Okay, I'm just gonna cut that off, and we're gonna glue it. Plus I'm not gonna actually add embellishments. You know, you don't always have to have an embellishment. Just having a little bit of glimmer on there takes the place of an embellishment. Okay, so now I have my blocks of color. So I just cut 1-inch squares, and I could use these if I wanted just like that, but my shirt has funky patterns that are not straight. My squares are not straight. So I'm gonna cut just like one edge off of my green. I'm going to do my red on top. So I'm going to cut two sides off of my red. Don't ask me what the technical term for these are. Rhombus? No. They're not parallelograms. I don't know what they are. On my orange, I'm going to cut off two sides. Okay. And then on my blue, let's see. Let's do one. I'm cutting these just all at funky angles. Two. We'll do three. Just why not? Okay. Let's arrange these how we want to go. We're going to go that route. How's that look? Okay, so we're going to glue these down. Just putting a little bit of glue. They're even going to go at a little bit of an angle because the idea is funky. Funky. Okay. I'm gonna do this one that way, I think. Okay. Now, this is just a fun, funky card that could be used for any occasion. I've got a little strip of basic white, and I'm going to use one of our host sets. I don't know why I'm using so much host stuff lately, but I never use it. So I'm going to use this because I was looking for just a fun little sentiment, and I'm going to just use, I did High Gorgeous on my first sample, but I'm going to do your one of a kind because this is kind of a one of a kind card. Your one of a kind. And then I'll show you my other one with the Hello Gorgeous. Okay, you're one of a kind. I haven't used this before, so I'm just going to rough it up just a little bit on my paper because that will help it to hold the ink. Let's do a test stamp. That looks perfect. Okay, we're going to try to stamp this straight on my little skinny strip. Nice. Okay. That's all the stamping we're going to do. I don't usually stamp my insides right away because I'm going to cut this at an angle too. Because everything else is, why not this? And let's pop it up. Let's grab some dimensionals. We're going to just cut a couple slivers off the edge. And we're going to just put that right here. You're one of a kind. Like my shirt. Isn't that cute? And then here's the other one where I just did High Gorgeous. I switched my colors, but that's okay. So that is inspiration number one. I mean, how easy was that? I'm going to show you again. My shirt's upside down, but look. It looks just like my shirt. I love that because I love this shirt. So that's the first one. Now, the second one, I was trying to think what would be a good second inspiration project. So I was looking at my mugs. Like I have a lot of coffee mugs. And I have this one. Now this is a Stampin' Up! Coffee mug. So if you're a demonstrator, we have some fun logo merchandise that you can buy. And this is one of those logo items. The bottom has this cute pine cone. And I think this image is from the Stampology or Campology stamp set, which I don't have. And you know, sometimes we see things that we really like or we really want to use and we don't have them. It could be they're retired or they just don't have them, but you want to make your card right now. So you have to make do with what you got, right? We've all had to make do with what we have. So I found some pine trees that I'm going to use, but I love the old olive color. This might be Mossy Meadow, but I am going with old olive. Let's see how close we are. I wanted it just a little bit lighter. See, I think that's Mossy Meadow, but Old Olive and Mossy Meadow are pretty close, so I'm going to go with that. And then on the inside, it's got Happy Trails. Can you see that? Isn't that cute? I love this cup. It comes with another cup in another color, but I just love the green one. So we are going to make a card with that. So the base of my cup Looks like it's black, so I'm going to go with black. And then I've cut a panel of old olive. Actually, I think I'm going to cut that down a little bit because I'm doing a little white border just to pop it out a little bit. How big did I cut my border? I cut this, so I need to cut my green at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. I cut my sample piece, but I didn't cut this. So 4 3/4. Luckily, I had my handy dandy paper trimmer right next to me. How lucky can you get? All right, 3 1/2. Okay. All right, let's make sure this is going to layer on here. I just want a really thin white border. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we're going to stamp our trees. Now, the trees on my mug are white. So I picked the Evergreen Elegance stamp set, which is in the annual catalog, but it's a beautiful Christmas set. It's a bundle. It comes with the Christmas tree like border punch. But I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use my 2 biggest Christmas trees. We're going to do a little embossing. So I'm going to grab some Versamark. And don't look, I stamped a white tree in there. That's going to give, wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Sometimes that happens. Okay, so I rubbed my embossing buddy around. And I know we don't have those, but I'm asking them back for them. So I'm going to stamp. I have my tall tree and then my fat tree right here. So I'm going to alternate trees. So I'm going to do, I want them coming off because they don't float in the air. So I'm going to do Versamark trees. I'm going to do a tall one. I'm going to do a tall fat tree next to it. I'm trying not to overlap. I'm going to make this just slightly taller. But because we're embossing, I don't want a lot of overlap because it's going to make it too blocky. I'm going to just add a little bit of a tall tree right on the edge. All right, let's use some white embossing powder and get this on and see how it looks. All right. Okay, even though I use my embossing buddy, I still have a little bit of some powder here, and that's a really, big brush. So let's just take a little paintbrush and kind of scratch away some of that powder. Okay, perfect. All right, let's do a quick heat embossing on this. We're not done yet though. We are going to grab our white craft pad. And I think this is still in the catalog. And I had used Versamark on here. This is a craft pad as well, so it is sticky ink. And I just had it in clear ink, so I'm not going to really worry about cleaning it. But what I am going to do is maybe stamp up higher. So I just want to do some background trees. So I'm stamping pretty good there. Let's get one right here, maybe a little taller. And then a big tree in the background there. How does that look? That looks pretty good. I can see a little bit of green coming through where I should have trees. So I'm going to stop right there. And then what I'm going to do is heat set it. And I'm not going to overheat it. because I don't want to dull the embossing art I've already done, but this white ink is going to be a little bit tacky. So I'm going to heat set it real quick. All right, now it's not necessarily completely dry, and it's sticking to some of this embossed pieces. So take a tissue or a paper towel, and I just kind of go through and just make sure there's not a bunch of tacky ink on there. Okay, it feels pretty good. Okay, I just want to make sure I don't have any wet ink, because then I'm going to smear it and make a big mess. All right, I'm pretty happy with how that came out. So let's put a little bit of adhesive on here. Nice and thin. Don't put big globs and huge amounts of glue, because then that makes your card all stiff and weird. Let's flip it over, give it a good press, just in case we're still a little wet. Okay, and then we're gonna glue this down to our card front. All right, let's give that a flip as well. I feel like I have white ink on me. I'm gonna try to be careful here. Okay, now we need a sentiment. And I'm just going to make this a Christmas card because, you know, why not? So I've got a strip of black, and this is like 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to do Versamark. Let's use our embossing buddy. And I've got Merry Christmas is in the sentiments in the same stamp set. So we're only using one sentiment or one stamp set on this. I'm going to try to get this centered. Hopefully that will be correct. Get a little embossing powder on that. Might need to trim my stamp. If you see like little marks like this, it's because your rubber's a little bit big, and so I might need to trim where I have extra rubber there. Okay, not too bad though. Do a quick emboss. To give it like 10 seconds to cool off a little bit. I'm going to just, I think I'm going to do a little flag on the front end of this, and then I'm going to pop it up. Where do you think I'm going to pop it up? I want some guesses real quick. If you can write it down, take a guess where this is going to be popped up. I'm going to pop it up right here on the bottom. Okay, now I don't have any bling, and I feel like I do, because it's Christmas, we need to add something. So this is a little sneak peek at new stuff. These are the new Subtle Shimmer Sequins that will be in the holiday catalog, and they come in silver and like this pearl color. So I'm going to try this with the pearl color. I used silver on my sample when I was trying to decide what to do. So I'll let you see both, and then you can decide what you like. All right. I'm going to pick up this larger pearl one, Sequins. All right, then let's get a medium size. And then a little one. I like the sequins like face up, kind of like a cup when I put it on there. See, it just adds a little bit of bling. It's very subtle. I'll show you, let me put these back. because even though there's like 600 million, you just don't want to waste them. These would be, I'm going to do a shaker card with these later because those are so pretty. All right, so here's my first one. And see the silver right there? You can kind of see how those sparkle. But these look more like snow. So I kind of like these because they still sparkle a little bit too. Okay, so doesn't that look like our cup? We'll put that away. Isn't that cute? So just, you know, you guys look for some inspiration just in the things in your house. You know, you can make all kinds of cards nobody's even thought of just by using inspiration on a clothing, your favorite t-shirt, or, you know, your dishes, your couch, whatever you have. Send a picture. I'm going to post my picture of my original dress that made me buy this shirt. So now we have dress to shirt to card, and you'll see my thought process on some inspiration. All right, thanks everybody. Make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on next week's tutorial. Don't know what it's going to be yet, but it'll be fun one way or another. All right, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.